We
We
are
are.
live, Christine.
All right. Hello, Anne. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
It's been
And I'll,
a fortnight.
what, since I saw you,
I don't- I meant since our last live.
it's about 6 weeks.
Oh, I thought a fortnight was 20 days. Never mind.
But anyway,
What do I
go
know?
for it, Christine.
Okay. Ay, ay, ay. So, welcome and hello, everyone. Anne is in control of this live, so I don't get to see what I normally
Yay!
get to see.
I
So I'm
mean,
hoping it's working. But I did, I did post on my Facebook channel that you can watch it live on Anne's, but actually I have discovered a minute before we went live, I can stream it to my YouTube channel also. So I don't know where you're watching, but be sure to say hello and that you're watching, and so we know it's working, because I can't see that we have it. I can't see what I used to be able to see because Anne's in charge. All right.
so you're blaming
Hi.
me if it goes pear-shaped.
Yes.
Um, but for both Christine's peeps and my peeps, we are encouraging everyone to watch on YouTube from now on because Facebook is going to delete our videos within 30
Not
days.
just ours.
Christine, yeah,
Everybody, not
sorry.
just ours.
Yes, thank you, Christine. Everybody. So our videos only last 30 days on Facebook now. And now, whilst today I'm doing both to Facebook and YouTube, Christine's only doing it to YouTube. So,
And I
and
will
both
upload
on,
it to Facebook, and then we'll see what happens.
yep, and both on YouTube video, whosever channel you're watching, please leave comments because it certainly does help us. We see your comments and we
Yeah.
love answering any questions or anything you may have. Now, you don't even know who we are. So,
I know.
um,
Let's start
Chris,
over.
yeah, so I'm going to throw back to Christine because I'm in control, but obviously she does the introductions better than I do.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you. All right. I am Christine Josti. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. My brand or my channel is called Mail Something Pretty. And welcome and hello to everyone who's watching, either live or on the replay. Both Anne and I are Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. I've been a demonstrator for 18 years, and I believe Anne has been for 11, but she'll let you know. And we love what we do. We love to paper craft, we love to share, we love to teach, we love to experiment on new things, and we love to laugh. So I'm sure that you'll be doing that tonight, because we've already laughed a whole bunch prior to our going on live. So Anne, you want to take it away?
Ideo. So if you are watching and you can hear, it would be great if you could let us know that you can see and hear us. Because as you heard, I'm in charge. I'm not used to being in charge. And we may have no sound, no picture, or maybe something else is going wrong. So let us know that I have it all under control and that I don't need Christine to be in charge. However, I'm Anne Lewis. I live on the Sunshine Coast here in Queensland, Australia. I have been a demonstrator for 13 years. Christine keeps
Oh,
cutting
I
me,
was wrong.
making it shorter, making me younger. That's the way I would describe it. And I do have to say that Christine is here under great duress because she was trying to keep it a secret, but really she's icing her foot. She can't walk because on her rush to get here, she had a fall. I could make up a story that sounds so much more interesting, so I won't tell the story.
I slipped on
But
soap, like literally slipped on soap.
so she's stepping this up, and even though she's injured. So I'm going to go first. Now, our topic of today was new products. And I think, whilst we don't know what products each other are using, we both picked online exclusives, not because the new catalog, which has been out for 3 days. I'm just going to throw down to my desk. The new catalogue has been out for 3 days, a little less for, oh no, they're about the same for you, for our listeners in US. I can finally show you. Now, it has amazing things, and it's unusual that we both picked online exclusives, but I think that was because I only ordered before I left, and so I only ordered basically online exclusives. And Christine really likes the product that she's actually using. Now I'm going to showcase, so I've got to get going because we don't want to go over time, Christine, because we've never done that before. This is
No.
card 1 that I'm doing, and I'm using the Sunrise Sailing stamp set and embossing folder, which I'm trying to find.
I'm so
So
glad you got this because I almost got it and I haven't yet. But I love it.
I love it, love it, love it, and I love what you can do with it. And so rather than do anything super flash with it tonight, because I wanted to introduce it to you, so how to use it in a basic way. And as you see, it's got some really nice stamped images. My earplugs are pulling.
All right. So while Anne's figuring out her earpods, you good?
Yeah, I'm back. So this is the embossing folder. It's a 3D embossing folder, and it comes as a hybrid. So what you know, and you're going to see me use this in the second project, is these images cut out also the embossed images. It's a really simple process. There's a couple of different ways you can do it. I do the one that works for me, but you might find an alternative way to make it work. But let's get going. Now, so I'm hoping you can see how gorgeous that embossing actually is, and why we call it 3D, because you can actually see the shadows in it. Really simple project, and I've already put some together. Now, I do want to tell you, this one I use 1-inch strips, but I wanted to show you an alternative. So on this one, I only use 7/8 of an inch. Now, I do have some measurements for this. So if you want to, wait a minute, I'm just showing you only project 1. If you want to do a screenshot, but I'll walk through it really quickly as well. So I've got the US measurements there here in brackets because your card will be a little wider than mine. So you get to choose whether you like this card with 7/8 of an inch strips or 1-inch strips. I like both. Now,
They both are nice.
The other bit, the only bits I've got to do, I've just got to make sure this is the only other bit I've got to do, is I'm going to stamp that image on the front to do this. No, I'm not. I'm going to run it through the embossing folder, which I did just confess to Christine. I've still got my live out from
2 months ago.
From 2 months ago. It's been a little wild. I've had on stage, I've done 1,000 things.
Oh, wait, didn't you have a cyclone thrown in there?
Oh, we had a cyclone. So there was a week of preparation for the cyclone. And then I can't even remember what I did before I left, but I know the things I'd planned to do weren't done. So on this one, all I'm doing, I'm hoping you can see that all I've done is line up that panel, and that panel is 2.5 inches by 4 inches. And I've just picked the sailing ship to actually put through the embossing folder. Wait a minute. Let's make a bit of room here. I've only been home, I don't know, a couple of days, and then I obviously I hadn't planned to, sorry, I'm looking for all my bits. So I do have out, and I just want to make sure that I'm using the right bits. Anyway, so I'm using the 3D embossing folder now. I can't remember which is the one that came with the cut and emboss. You've either got a purple one or a grey one. Both work perfectly. So I'm just putting that through.
Oh, Jan's
Hopefully.
reminding you that you did cards for seniors before you went away. You did
Oh,
a
I did
lot.
that too.
You did a lot.
It was insane.
Yes,
So
it
nothing
was.
got tidied up. I just tried to get away on holidays. That was my plan. So you can see how gorgeous that worked out. Now, I do have to do a little bit of introduction whilst I glue this piece on, is I'm using the new In Colours. So I'm going to have to think about this, Secret Sea cloud cover. Ooh, darling,
Nope.
timid,
Timid.
timid tiger, darling duck, and a comeback favourite, strawberry slush. So, which one of those is your favourite, Christine?
Well, you have to ask.
I'm going to say it's Secret Sea.
It is. It is. However, I do love them all, and they pair nicely together as you have there. But that the sea, I forget the name of the one you're using now. It
Secret
pairs.
Sea.
It pairs so nicely with some colors. I can't wait to
Yeah.
use it. Yeah.
And oh, I know I've got 1,000 things here. And oh, here it is. I threw it out of the way. So this is like, oh yeah. So I'm going to pop this up. Now, today I was going to play a joke on Christine and add as many dimensionals
Did
as
you
I
read
could.
my post about my 3 R's? Reduce, recycle,
I
reduce,
I did,
reuse, recycle.
and I sent you an email in reply saying you're on the wrong track. I don't know that you got it, but I know
I
I
don't
sent
think
it.
I did.
Yes, I wrote back immediately and said, I think you're on the wrong track. However, I didn't get time to put 1,000, 1,000. I hope you saw that was my
Yeah.
earpiece, because I normally have a little lanyard so they can't fall out, but that went away on holidays with me and I cannot find it in my house. Oh yeah. Now, normally I would put you can see I've got a happy birthday. Normally I would actually stamp that first, but because I wanted to line it up with this panel, and I know that I can stamp it even though the panel's down, we're just going to do as happy birthday. Now, this comes from the Beautiful Butterflies stamp set, which I'm assuming is still current, but I'm not sure.
It is.
So,
And I might be using it as well.
oh, well, I'm glad you know, because I didn't get time to look it up.
Yeah,
So you
it
can
is.
see how easy that card was. Now, on the inside, now this is a Christine special, not that, because she always, she introduced me to stamping crooked. Not that I didn't know how to stamp crooked, but to how to put a sentiment on a block crooked and make it straight.
But that doesn't
So
look crooked.
I know, but I put it on here.
Okay. Sorry.
See, I would never do that normally. We'll see if it's going to go crooked now. But I thought it was going to be a really nice, just way of doing it, putting it down the sail here.
Wait. Is it the sorry? Oh, it is. Sorry. You're okay.
Oh,
I thought it said happy birthday and I was reading it upside down, but it says best wishes.
now, right now.
I like it
So
along
that
that.
just added a little different way of doing it. Now, I did want to show you, because this is the quick and easy one. but I did want to explain how you get these pretty even, right? Because it's a bit of it's, I know a lot of people really struggle with it. So I've got grid paper, but you could just draw a cross on any of your scrap paper. Now, grid paper does make it easy. So I always do, if I'm doing a set of 5, like, and I want them even, I do top, bottom, center, and then just center these by eye. So I know that all I did was make this border, and this border even, this border, this border even, place this one. Now, all I did was I've got a line here on my grid paper that is 2 3/4. I lined it up the top of it on that line from over here. It automatically comes down to here. It'll be right down the bottom. And so this piece, now I've got this center line here to make sure that it's center, and I can really easy do that by line. This was really quick and an easy card, as you can see, and I think it looks pretty darn good. And I
It's a
love
great
those
card.
in colors.
Yeah.
Now, you notice there's 2 things I changed from the first one to the second one. The size of the strips, which does change the how it looks. And the other thing that I changed was my order of the colors. Because I'm using Secret C at the back, it got lost on this one. Whereas when I put the Secret C in the center, you will see the Secret C. It makes it pop a little better. So which one do you like, everybody? The one on the left, sorry, my sample, or the one that I just made now with those 2 changes? Leave a message. Now, I can't see any comments from your customers on my page, Christine.
I know, me either. So I don't know. They either might not have commented, or I'll have to go back and
I
look.
know. And it may be an issue that Facebook is showing them, but YouTube isn't.
Right.
So I'd
We'll
like to
figure it out.
say hello to Madeline, Marianne, Lynette, Jan. Thank you very much for dropping by, especially as I've been away for a while. Now, so that's card number 1. Really simple talk, only a couple of minutes. So
Mhm.
let's show you number 2. I'm going to hopefully do it in a couple of minutes too. We will see. Rightio. So this is card number 2. So hopefully you can see.
Nice.
So I've embossed the background. I've done a couple other things which I'll explain. I've also die cut this sailing boat and I've embossed it. And I'm going to show you how I did that. Simple card again. So as I said, I wanted to show you the basics of how to do this so that you can then step it up if you wish. Rightio. So as you can see, hopefully you can see that I have embossed already the piece. So I did it exactly the same as I did the white on this one. But I wanted to add a little bit of depth. So I used some of our white ink, and I've got actually I'm going to change this up. I've got a little sponge dauber, which I need to get some more of. Now, I just looking for, I got one of my old, I'm just going to change this up a little bit. So what I'm going to do this time, rather than use the ink pad, I've got actually some of the white. I haven't trialed this, and I can see some ink on here. You didn't see what I just did there. I would have, of course, had a rag, not use my jeans, because that would be inappropriate. Now, so I've got my sponge dauber, and I just added a little bit of the re-inker. So this will be a little thicker than the first one, so I have to be a little careful. And I'm just going to take a little bit off. So to make the white caps on the waves. I'm just going to, you can
That's
see
such
the
a cool
difference.
effect.
Yeah. So you can see how easy it is. I'm not doing anything special, but it does look a little better when I've gone Reinker Direct.
It just looks like a sailboat sailing in the night.
Yeah. To be honest, I really love this. And it's the only, I didn't buy very much before I left. Now, I've got clouds here and I've got more clouds, but they could be birds. So I'm just going to make them clouds. I'm just gently running it across. There is no, me, no skill in that. So you can see all of a sudden it's popping up,
Hmm.
right? But it drops back the sailboat a little bit. So I've then stamped and die cut the sailboat. But I love there's two things I like is it comes with this stamp to make that pop of color, but also I want to emboss it. So let's do the pop of color first. So I'm using not an in color. I'm using Summer Splash. Anytime I do water now, it has a little bit of Summer Splash.
It
Now
is
there
in
is some,
color.
last year's in color. Sorry, one of the new in colors. You're right. Now, this is the stamp, and I'll just show you. So it's this one here. This one here that I'm using. Now, there's a secret to this. So this is the left edge of the stamp, which should, to make it look better, actually hit this line down here. Don't have it out hanging. Take it all the way over, and it looks, in my view, a little nicer. And you've just got to line up that curve there. Now, doesn't have to be perfect. No, because Stampin' Up makes stamps that are versatile. So they've always got a little bit of wriggle room most of the time. So I'm just going to stamp down. And all of a sudden, you've got something that pops a little bit more. Get rid of that. I'm just going to grab my embossing folder, which hopefully I can find, which I can't, but I will be able to. Wait a sec, I'm going to clean this out so you can see my desk a little bit. Just got to find
Just
where
know that your machine is on top of your sailboat.
that wouldn't have made a difference, Christine. I'm still jet lagged. I'm going to be using that as my excuse because, oh no, here it is. This is how easy this actually is. Now, you can die cut and emboss at the same time. I don't like doing that. This is a far easier way. Now, what I actually do is line it up at the front here. So hopefully you can see I've just lined it up. So I've got the stamped image with the outline of the stamped, not the die cut, just the stamp. So you can see I've lined that up easily. I'm going to use my standard. Sorry, Christine?
I was just going to ask, because I don't have this yet, you would recommend stamping and then embossing versus embossing and then stamping and cutting?
Yeah, so you won't be able to
Mm.
emboss because it's uneven. So you'll have to definitely stamp first.
Nope, that's a good
but
tip.
you can die, as I said, you can choose to die cut and stamp together. I don't like it. Wait a minute. I've got way too much here because I'm only embossing. So I had way too many layers on this. So now you're seeing the other plate that you might have. Might be this one. to use with this embossing folder. So it's a 3D. Now, if you're die cutting and embossing, you will need to not use this because it'll be too thick. So you need to go down to just one acrylic plate. You'll probably find.
Oh, okay.
You may. Look, it depends a little bit on your
Yeah, on your
machine.
machine.
Oh, truly.
Kiko's
Easy to
probably
close.
playing with them.
Ah, I know. Yeah, I'm blaming Kiko for everything in my life at the moment.
Yep.
And she's responsible for a fair bit. So, idea. So I don't know whether you can see it embossed, but you can feel how embossed it is. Now, I made this, I still wanted to pop it up. Where's my card? So I popped it up using some dimensionals. Now you could use minis, you could use whatever you like. And the other thing I'm going to do is add the only embellishments I've got for the month of May. And they look really nice on this, and they will match just about every project you have because they're holograph ones. And I'll just take this off here. Hopefully you can see this. And it's another really simple project. This one's a little stepped up. It's well within the range of anybody who can just do a bit of die cutting and stamping. And it doesn't take too long. And if you're going to do multiples, not that I would, of this, you just do them all in a system, like all the embossing, all the stamping.
I think it's a great bundle, even if you're not into sailing. Like, I think it's really universal, and you could send it to anyone.
Well, what I like, and I agree, what I like about it is in the colours that I've done today, it's a good masculine card, but I
Hmm.
think you could use it as for anyone, for a feminine one as well. Adios. So I've got these gorgeous, which are called holographic resin dots. Wait a minute. So these are brand new. I'm just going to add a couple of the little ones. So again, I'm just doing what I always do, one at each end. And then put the one in the middle because then it's really easy. Whoops, except when it does that. Really easy to line up in the center. Righto. So now I'm going to just adhere that down, not upside down. So I'm obviously not as bad as I thought I was. Must be slightly getting over jet lag. Otherwise, I would have fallen for that.
Oh, here I thought you were doing so good with that glue, and you went back for
I
more.
was thinking I underdid on that. I thought I was saving, but
For
obviously
those
still.
for
I
those
know.
who are new to us, we always tease each other on either the too much or the too little glue the other uses.
I know. So again, I'm going to be using the Best Wishes, which comes from the stamp set, but it's got some really good ones. Congratulations, happy retirement, best wishes. You're destined for great things, and ahoy. But I try and create stamps as projects that I will actually use. And this one, even if it was I'm going to go down this end. Oops, no, I'm not. You didn't see that, did you? No, we're going to go in the middle, the little bent. That's why it's doing this. I know, perfect. Now, to be honest, I like grabbing my trimmer, which is somewhere on my desk here. You'd be sad if you looked at my craft room at the moment. I'm sad, but this weekend I'm going to finalise all my washing, which included all the house sitters washing from throughout
Yeah.
the house.
Oh,
So, and then I'm just going to pop that up there. Now, I want to trim that down a little bit more to make it a little smaller. Then I've got one other little bit to do. Oh, that didn't work.
I think
I
this would make
used,
a great graduation card. It's kind of
it would.
graduation season here, so I think that would be a really nice one. Kind of, follow your dreams kind of thing.
Because I've got a new trimmer, a new blade, I'm going to carefully make that a little smaller, which it did. If it's a blunt blade, that's not going to work really well. Now I've got one other little step to do, because I think you'll like it, how it turns out. I haven't shown you this part. Oh, got another, got to add the little birds because they're
Mm-hmm.
super cute because they're
They are
die
cute.
cut. They're die cut and you
Oh,
do 3 at one time.
I thought you just did them with white ink.
No, couldn't get white ink that good.
See, I was giving you credit.
Oh, give me credit for using what was in the kit. That
Well, I
makes it
didn't.
easier. You saying how well they were drawn, and
Yeah, I
because I
thought you
say
stamped
this
them.
all the time, I am no artist. I know. So my little birds, hopefully, are sitting in this die like magic. That was easy, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's that back in there. Now, all I do to add the birds is add the tiniest bit of glue, hopefully, the tiniest bit of glue, the tiniest bit of glue. Now, if I, and then down, should be using tweezers because
Yep.
that would make this job a little.
I bet you could use your the top of your take your pick tool,
I
the put
could, I,
the
I,
putty, the putty
yep,
part to pick it up.
would work so well. I don't. So there's the front of the card finished, and I want to show you the inside of my card. Can you?
Oh, I like that.
So it's got 2 layers, and I'll show you how I did the 2 layers. Now it actually comes, these dies come with two sets of water. Now I think waves, I suppose. Now I'm assuming they've given us 2 so that if you want to use them on a scrapbook page that's 12 by 12, you
Mm.
can. Now, so I've cut my piece 5.5 inches, which is the width of my card. Let's get rid of some of that glue. Bring back my, so this time I'm using die, so I'm going to use my standard plate, my thin die adapter, the bottom acrylic plate. I've mixed up a few, I've got all my dies here. So I'm just throwing this on, and hopefully you can see this. I'm just leaving a little border. It only cuts the wavy top, doesn't cut down the bottom. So I'm leaving a tiny little bit of the border. And to be honest, I can't remember how I did this the first time, but it was similar to this. And I don't think it matters which way I do it. We'll just have to trim that sheet down just a smidgen. So I have 2 bits here. Don't worry about that. Now, so this is the piece that's going to sit at the bottom here. So it's just going to run across. I may have to trim it up. This is simple. There's nothing complex about doing this and making sure I've got the right side. Whoops. Enough glue, Christine?
Yeah, I would have
Just
put
enough?
I would have put glue on the bottom of the card base and then stuck that on top.
Ah. So why would you choose to do it that way?
So because when I
Even though
pick,
you'd be wrong, Christine. I mean, that's just kidding.
because then when I go to pick up the skinny little strip with glue, I'm bound to get glue in my hands. Versus
All
if you
right.
just have a little strip of glue on the card, you put the dry piece on top. So you can try it on that one and see.
I know. So now I'm just adding some. I'm adding some white,
Waves.
some waves. So now, so that's Christine, right? She says I should run a thin bead. I mean, I don't think this will last more than 10 years, but anyway, that's okay. And then I'm going to add this. I do want to leave, yeah, it's a little big, but anyway, I would normally leave a little white piece at the bottom. So there we go. So I haven't put anything else in there because I don't know whether it's going to be congratulations, birthday, or whatever. So there's my 2 cards.
Those are
Now
great.
we haven't had any comments for ages, so I'm not sure what's going on here, Christine. Have we lost? Have I lost everybody?
I think they were just enjoying you speaking. I love to listen to you speak.
Rightio. So they're my 2 cards that we did today,
I
completely
love
different,
them.
using a really versatile bundle that you can either step up. It's called Sunset Sailing and it's an online exclusive, which means, Christine, what does an online exclusive mean?
It means you can't see it in the paper catalog, but it's available online. And if you forget what it's called, just in the search bar, just write SAIL, sale, and it will come up in your search. You don't have to remember the whole name of it.
Yeah. So that's my 2 projects, Christine.
Love it.
I'm going to hand over to you. Hopefully, I have this all under control. Wait a minute. I hope I have this all under control. And there you are,
Okay,
Christine.
yay! You did it. You did it. Awesome, awesome. So yeah, so I actually am using something from the annual catalog plus an online exclusive. Anne didn't know what my project was, so she didn't know. So we can open this catalog online, which is so very exciting. And I am going to use this. So let me backtrack, go back a page, because this is like a super suite. That's what I call them, or I guess they call them a suite collection. But there's 2 stamp sets, 2 sets of dies, and about like this tons. So that's why I call it a super suite. So I'm going to use this stamp set. Sorry for the glare. There we go. That might be a little bit better. Called Gallery Blooms. I'm specifically going to use this stamp, which is, to me, looks like a peony. So it's going to be a peony for me. So that's the stamp set, which I have right here. You'll be able to see it a little bit better. Oh yeah, that's much better. And it does come with a whole bunch of dies. So I'm only really going to use the 1 die, but let me just show you. I'm going to use the die, the outline for the stamp. But it comes with, so make sure when you get it, you open up both pieces because there's dies on both pieces of paper. So you get some flower images that are not stamped, and then you get a bunch of outline stamped ones. And you also get this frame. So I'm not going to use this now, but I just want to point it out. It cuts 3 pieces at once. So I'll cut an outer frame, an inner frame, and then a little rectangle on the middle. So it's kind of a cool thing. So you get all extra pieces to use. All right, but for now, I'm just using that one. Let's put this away so I don't lose it. Okay. So let me show you what I'm making. And I'm going to make a different color version, but I'm going to give you some tips. So I am making a little bouquet.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you. So I saw a somewhat similar image online, somewhere online. It was not a Stampin' Up! One, but I loved this, little paper bouquet. They used some like it was scrapbook paper, but it looked like newsprint, and I think that would look really sharp. But we don't have any, so I kind of copied ish what theirs was, and so I'm going to show you a few tips on this one. So you can, oh yeah, you can kind of see this paper wrapping is plain. This one I crumpled up, and this one I have some embossing on it. So you can do whatever you want, but those are what we're gonna make. All right, so we're gonna start with crumb cake is what I use for my, let me get this stuff over. I have this now big desk. I'm very excited. So now I can kind of put things out so you can kind of see more things at once here. Okay. So I'm going to cut 4 by 4. So I'm just gonna, I played with different sizes. The 4 by 4 is what fits on a card base. So you could certainly make it bigger. And I was even thinking, we just had May Day. Oh, I suppose you guys did too. For May 1st, and where you kind of get a little bouquet of flowers and you can kind of put it on someone's door handle. So you could even make this little and put a string on and kind of hang it up like an ornament or a tag or something. All right. So what we're going to do, so this is 4 inches by 4 inches. Is that 10 centimeters, I think? So maybe I should turn it this way. For the first
Yep.
one, I'm just going to, it's the paper stiff. So you have to kind of just be a little patient. And I just want to get this bottom point kind of as a point. All right, so I just folded the right side over. And as I fold the left side over, you can make it as this could meet the side or it could go not quite. What I like to do is kind of pay attention up here to get it somewhat equal. And so you just get this little, okay, so that didn't quite come over, but I'm okay with that. I actually kind of like how this line does not go over there. If you were to do the crumpled up paper, all I did was literally crumple up the paper. And it actually breaks down the fibers of the paper, so it's easier to fold. You could use pattern paper, and that would be easier to fold. Let me open it up. I was just thinking like a, okay. So you'll see, as I straighten it out, it's a little easier to manipulate. It's a little easier to fold here. And then this comes over like that. So kind of 2 different looks. All right, so that was how we made our little container for our flower. And we're going to stamp, I already have it on a block. I'm going to use, so it's kind of big. So this is a E-block. I'm going to use Memento ink because I'm going to use blends markers to color it. So because this is so big, I like to take my ink pad and ink it directly to the stamp versus taking my stamp going to the ink pad.
Now, which stamp set is this, Christine?
It's called Gallery Blooms.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
There we go. It is really, and I mean, I love peonies. I have them in my garden. Do you have peonies where you are? Do they grow over there?
Not in Queensland because it's too warm and humid, but in southern Australia we can grow peonies, but not as well as you do in the States.
Yeah, mine are right now they're just little buds, but I will they're really starting to in June they will be bloomed. So I'll post pictures of them because they are
I
beautiful.
love them.
I have 3 different colored pinks. All right. So you can stamp and then color, but I like to stamp and then cut because sometimes it doesn't cut, it moves. And then you did all that coloring and then it doesn't cut right. So I'm actually going to trim this too because I'm going to use my mini machine because it's right here. And I do have some pre-cut just in case. All right, let's see. I'll line it up here so I can see it. Sometimes it's hard. I know you stand up so you can look over what you're doing, but I sit because my phone is right where my head is. Let's see how I do. All right, not perfect. Okay, but I have I have some other ones. So I just keep my extra pieces in here. All right, that one's. Which one's better? They're actually probably the same. Okay, so we're gonna color this one. So like I said, peonies come in different colors. So I have in my garden 3 different colored pinks, a very light, almost white, kind of medium, and then like a fuchsia. But they come in yellow and sorbet and coral, and I don't think they come in purple. So I don't think I can remember some. So I'm going to make this one kind of peachy. All right, so I have my peach pie, light and dark, and I have a light flirty flamingo. So those are the colors. I think, wait, might be cameo. Calypso coral, excuse me. So I'm going to start. You can start with either the, let's see if I had something, the dark or the light first. It really doesn't matter. For this one, I'll just start with the dark, and I'm just following kind of along the lines of the image. The artisans who created this put these really nice lines in here, so we can just go over them with our dark markers. When you get to this part, you have a choice. It can either be a leaf over here too, or it can be part of the flower. I've done both, just so you know when you're coloring. There's no wrong, so you can have it either. So now I'm going to do my medium. So I'm going to do a little bit of the darker peach, and hopefully you can see I'm kind of scribbling, and that's sometimes what I do when I color, just a little scribble, because I don't want this to be all one matte color, so I want this to have a little bit.
So it gives it a little bit of texture.
So really, yeah, it doesn't look all that pretty yet, but when I take my light peach and then I kind of go over and blend it and tie it all together, I might leave a little bit of white as if like the sun is shining and have a little
Yep,
light
I like
spot.
having that white because it gives it that
Yeah.
like a fourth color.
Yeah. So again, I'm still kind of scribbling. Like
And you've done it really quickly, which is what I like.
You know, you can take your time and stuff, but really I think it kind of comes together, and it will dry and it will even kind of blend a little bit more, and it will
Looks
get all
great.
thank you. It'll get all tied together after you do the leaves. So I'm going to use a little dark of the granny apple green. Again, I'm just kind of scribbling.
Now, Christine, I know I say this because I can hear you what seems like you're scratching with your blends, but that is just the nylon. It's not that she's pressing hard. It just is the noise it makes. So don't press hard with these. You don't have to. You're just kind of running it over the paper
Yep.
despite that noise. Don't be confused.
So it's funny that I didn't think you'd hear it. There's two tips on the markers. I prefer this brush tip. Like it's like more like a paintbrush. I like to paint, so I'm used to a paintbrush versus this tip. So the fine point tip, that's the one that makes that noise. The brush tip doesn't really make the noise. I also sometimes think that when you use the fine point tip, it's even though it's the same ink in the marker, to me, it comes out darker than the
Yep.
brush tip. So yeah, it's weird. So anyway, oh, I forgot the yellow. Sometimes I forget. A lot of peonies have yellow in the middle. So that's a daffodil, and you can really see I just squiggled that. So kind of watercolor-ish. So there you go.
Love
There's
it.
our peony. Thank you. All right, so now I think you're gonna really like what I'm gonna do. Well, actually, no, I'm not gonna do it yet.
Oh.
Tease, tease, tease. I'm gonna cut my card base, so that's not as exciting. I decided to use Basic Beige. This is a color that I am loving. It's a great neutral. Well, sometimes you don't want to use a white, and sometimes crumb cake's a little bit too dark with a gray. Like a beige is a great neutral, and I'm really enjoying it.
Now, can I just get you to explain what you just did? I know it sounds really
Yes,
simple,
yes, yes,
but it
yes,
is
yes.
different than what you've done in the past.
So what I did was put my pieces of paper together. Generally, I get 2 card bases out of 1 piece of cardstock. And so what I do is I score it first. So I scored it on 4 1/4 or half of my 8 1/2. So I
Which
scored
we'd
it.
score it for an 8. Yep.
Yep. And then I turned it around and I cut it in half this way, which is my 5 1/2. And that's how I got 2 bases. So now, even if I just use one now, I have one ready to go for another project.
Yeah. And you're rather than scoring that twice, you're only scoring once, which makes
Right.
it quicker.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Oh,
And can I
that
just
still.
add something else while
Of
you
course.
mainly because I just checked it out. The
Mm-hmm.
Stamping Up blog, which I know lots of people don't even know exists. And I think all you have to do is look, search under Google for Stamping Up blog. It has an article on how to use alcohol, blending, stamping right. No, what are they?
Blends,
Stamping
markers.
blends, stamping blends.
These.
How to use them, yes, and tells everybody about how to use them, and it's a great article. They're
I haven't
full
even been
of
on the blog.
articles. It is full of great ideas, especially if you're just starting out. And
I'll
it's
have to look at
tons
it.
and tons of information on there about all our products, ideas. Yeah, it's
That's a good
a
tip.
really
I've
great resource.
never been on it. I know it's new, but all right. So, for anyone who's watching who's part of my club, we're making this card on Monday for club. So, just so you know. But you'll have choices of colors. Because of that, I didn't have enough of my 12 by 12 paper for my club. So, but I had enough of this, and this is a pack that was brought back. So it was in the spring or the mini catalog, and now it's in the annual. It's called Beautiful Bokeh, and you get 8 sheets of each color, which is really kind of nice. So you get like it has, this is that bokeh look, kind of the white dots, and then the back is kind of splatter. I like that size better. But it's nice because you get 8 colors, 8 sheets of each color. So I think it's Berry Burst, Fresh, I don't know, it's either Fresh Freesia or Bubble Bath, Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight, and oh, I forgot about this one. It's like a 2-toned. I don't think that would look good on the paper. And Balmy Blue. So it's just so you know where I got it from. It is in the annual. So I'm just going to cut this for me at 4 inches and then at 5 1/4. So it's just really the one measurement down for the card base. And I'm actually going to use these 2 pieces, and that I'll use for something else later. Okay.
So Carol thanked you for your tip on how to cut out.
Oh, thanks. Thank you for pointing it out, Anne. Sometimes, we do things and we forget. So it's good that you let me know. So on this, hopefully you can see there's actually, besides the texture of the polka dot, I used some texture. I used an embossing folder, and this is what's in the online exclusives. And I'm going to show you, it goes with this suite called, I think it's the whole suite called Celebratory Sips, I think. But it goes with the Cheers and Sips stamp set. And they have some dies that go with it. Sorry for the glare. I haven't used that yet, but it also, with the suite, comes with, you get these 2 folders that come together. It's called Glass and Gardens embossing folder. So we're going to use this one. And then this one's a nice little floral, but we're going to use that one. So, oh, I just realized I was going to use my mini machine, but I can't because that's too wide. The embossing folder is good for the mini, but not the paper. But luckily, I have my big machine right behind me. All right, so I'm just going to put this in case you don't know, each embossing folder has their logo, but it has this line, and you can use that as a guide to make sure your paper is straight. So what I'm going to do is put my paper in and just have the edge of my paper go along with that black line. So then I know my paper is straight.
Can I just add one more thing, because I didn't say it when I did it, and I wish I had it, is any Stampin' Up! Embossing folder, the label is always the right side. So when
The top
you're
side.
embossing is always the top side. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, sometimes it's really obvious, and other times you need that as a bit of a guide.
Right. And you saw me, this is not a 3D folder, so I do not need that one.
Yep.
I need the 2 clears. So make sure that's straight again because I moved it. And that's what happens sometimes, if you have the wrong plate, it either doesn't go in or it doesn't do anything. Figure it out. Okay. So now, and it just gives just a little texture to it. And it would be fine, just the paper, but I kind of wanted to play with them, but I like texture. I like to play with texture. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue this together. And I think this beige color goes with every color of this pack, so you don't have to worry about it not matching. Okay, so now I'll just do the plain one on this one, and then I have another one kind of ready to go. I'll do the folded one. So I'm actually going to put this on first because I want to make sure that it fits in my card. And so we'll do this and then we'll insert the flowers. Oh, but before we do that, we need to add on our twine, linen thread. So I wrapped it around like my little bouquet. So what I did is I took tear and tape, and you could use just double-sided tape, or you could even just use Scotch tape to put it down. But the tear and tape kind of works. I'm going to take these off. And I'm going to take my linen thread and it is on. This is helpful. This is like a old-fashioned clothespin because sometimes the linen thread gets all knotted up, so you have to undo it. So then I just put it back on a clothespin. So I'm just going to wrap this around twice, and so it's sticking. You can kind of see to that turn tape, so then it does. So then my ribbon doesn't slide down. And my scissors in front of me, and I like the longer tails. Okay, now we're going to put that on top of our card. So the turn tape will help a little bit. Add some more glue. I'm going to put this on a diagonal. So now we're going to put in our flowers. So if I was to put these in, you might notice that that does not look the same.
Yep.
So what I did is I cut my flower. I know. I'm just doing a little operation here. I made, look at that, 2 pieces. So I'm going to stick this one, actually I'm not, before we do that, I pre-cut these already. So these are part of the dies that are part of that set, and they're just kind of like greenery pieces.
Yep.
And I used Granny Apple Green paper to match the marker color I used. Oops. And this just kind of gives a little bit more filler. You know, even sometimes when you make a floral arrangement, you need those filler greens. So that's kind of the theory behind this. Okay. You can even cut this one if you needed extra, but I'm just going to stick this right in there. And I just want to make sure that it fits within the card, so it fits in the envelope. And it will look funny at first because I'm just kind of putting them down. But the flowers will fill it all in. Oops. All right. So it looks like that, which does not look so good, but put a little glue on our flowers here. This one's gonna go on top. My fingers are sticky, so they're sticking to me. I'll put a little bit on an angle. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on this one, so it kind of separates between the two. And I think 2 dimensionals are fine. We don't
I
need to
think it'll
worry.
fall off, Christine.
We don't need to worry about the stem.
Sorry, in 10 years' time.
I know. That's going to
Not
get
because
stuck
it
in.
really will.
And that gets put there. You need to move things around if you can. And one last thing on the front, you can leave it like that, but if you take some sort of thin, round, this is from a honey stick, honey lollipop, or something, and I'm going to actually just roll this piece around.
I love this, that just one little extra thing.
One little extra thing.
Makes it pop, yes.
Yep. Now, if you were to put in a card, an envelope, it will smush a little bit, but I think that's still okay, even if it gets smushed. And then, oh, we need our little label. There they are. I put them in a little bowl so I wouldn't lose them. This is, it's such a cute little label from the perennial postage dies, which have carried over.
Oh, thank you, because I don't know that.
You're welcome. And I'm using the
Yes.
the For You from the
Yep.
beautiful
Ah.
butterflies that carried over. And I'm just using the black ink because, so for us, Mother's Day is on Sunday. I know your Mother's Day is a different time, right?
I know. It's May Mother's Day,
Oh, it is. Okay, I thought you had a different one.
second Sunday of Mother's.
So
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
you have like 2 days. You
No,
want to copy this?
second. Oh,
Oh,
so
ours is
sorry.
on
Now I know what you
Sunday.
mean. Yeah,
Ours
ours
is
is
on
too.
Sunday. So
Father's Day
anyways,
is different than yours.
oh, okay. But I figured For You could be anything. And then I just had that leftover piece. And when I cut, I'm just going to add that. A lot of times I put this on white, but because the beige is such a light color, I think that is fine. So that's that one. And I just wanted to finish this one off. Oh, just to show you, I think, the look of the wrapped, I mean the crinkled paper. So I'll do that real quick. Tear tape. Yeah, I have mailed 2 Mother's Day cards so far, so I'm not really mailing that many this year. A little behind. A little behind, so that's all right. Sometimes it's hard to get this backing off. All right, so we'll do that again. So we'll just take our linen thread. You want a decent tail. I just wrapped it around twice. Like I said, it sticks. And if you don't want to, you can just tie a knot. I know some people don't like to do bows. A knot would be fine. I do think like some sort of printed newsprint, you know, like a scrapbook newsprint would look beautiful. But we don't have that anymore. All right, so I'll just cut that flower one more time so you can see I divided the leaf there. So I kind of kept the leaf at the bottom flower. And then I just cut a little bit close on that too, so they just come apart just like that. And just add, oh, this one I had cut in half. If you need extras. So I've been busy in my garden the last couple days, cleaning it out, but getting my patio ready because I'm gonna have Mother's Day tea on my patio. The weather's supposed to be nice. And I'm going to make a coconut cake, maybe a 19 step cake. The kind that
Only
you like to make,
19.
Anne.
You made me make a 28-step one.
I know,
It was.
but it was good. I know it was, but it was
It was
good.
good.
Blueberry lemon.
That
Just roll this around. And there we go. So there's the, now, oh, let me just put this For You. And that way you'll be able to see every color from this pack, or every color except for that one I didn't like. I'd just like to tuck that under. And when I'm doing this, I'm lining it up so that even though the flower's on a diagonal, my words are kind of straight on. Okay. Let me get all the colors here. So we got yellow, and again, I have different colored peonies for each of them. Do it that way. Let me straight here. There we go.
they are so gorgeous.
Thank you.
I love them. Now I'm going to hand back over to you. Oh, the one thing I was going to say is for
Hmm.
anyone watching this who might be interested in becoming a demonstrator, not that you have to do Facebook Lives, that's Christine and mine choices. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not doing my job, am I? Um, hmm. How did I do this before? Like that.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
That'll do. Anything else is too complex. But we do have if you would like to become a demonstrator special happening at the moment. And
It's the best
um,
special they've ever had, like the best value they've ever done.
well, ours is you get
Oh,
basic,
okay.
we'll have to add, basically you get 300 for us, we get $303 worth of products for $169 for you, Christine.
You choose $165 worth of products. They've never had that much before for $99.
Right. And that's, I mean, it's a really good offer. But what I was just reminding everybody is a couple of months ago, Christine and I did a YouTube video. If you were ever interested in becoming a demonstrator, we go through a whole lot of questions that we've been asked over time and answer those questions and try and explain a little bit about what being a demonstrator is. So if you've got any questions, that's a really good resource for anyone to have a look at. And if you come from the States, talk to Christine. If you come from Australia, talk to me, and we can answer any questions personally as well. So Christine, I'm going to hand over to you to wrap up. We
Okay.
haven't decided what we're doing next time.
I
I will
was
just
just
say that in
gonna say
case Christine plucks something from the air.
I was just gonna say that. So we do go live every month, almost every month, unless someone's traveling. Um, and so we haven't picked the date, but it usually is for us, it's usually the first Thursday of the month and the first Friday of the month. So we haven't looked at the date. So whatever that is in June, I don't know what it is. So anyways,
No.
we'll post the date and all that kind of stuff. But we do this, um, it's fun. So we started it when we actually got together in person. Anne came to my house one time. We did a live together. We had so much fun that we decided to try to figure it out to do it together. So that's what we do. So we do once a month. And so that will be the first week of June. And stay tuned to whatever our theme will be, because I don't know what it is. Sometimes we do a color combination, sometimes we do a specific product. Today we just did the new catalog. I don't know what we're going to do. So if you have ideas, type them in the box, so we'll take them into consideration if we have whatever the products are needed for that. But we really appreciate you watching. We know, or else I know, there's because of the whole mix-up Facebook versus YouTube for my channel. I'm just streaming on YouTube now, so I hope you guys saw it, or at least watching the replay. I think we had some fun projects today, so hopefully you get to see them. And anything else, Anne?
Well, only that irrespective, if it didn't load, it says here it did load, but if it didn't load somewhere, you'll
I'll get
upload
it on
it.
there. Yeah, yeah.
Definitely upload it
Yep.
and for everybody to watch it. And thanks for
Yep.
watching on replay if you end up watching this on
And
replay.
we'll
And
post
leave
pictures.
comments.
Yeah, definitely leave comments, and it makes it fun for us too when you guys kind of chat with us while we're talking and you're chatting. It just makes it kind of fun. We will take pictures of each of our projects and post them on each other's pages too, so you have you know. Sometimes it's better to kind of copy a picture.
It is. IDEO. Well, from Australia, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Christine. It was lovely
Thank
chatting.
you, Anne. It's nice to
We
see
love
you
catching
again.
up. Yes.
All right, so you're in charge.
Oh, I'm in charge. I have to do all the work. It's so hard. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining
Bye.
us.